Hello and welcome. Yes, welcome to the Seleucid stream that may be weeks late, thanks to my crappy internet service provider. No doubt a Roman is involved with my ISP. Definitely. It's the only explanation. Anyway, thank you to those of you who are here live. And for those of you who may be watching this while it is not live, you may notice that I have the weird intro thing. This is a live stream, and I'm going to go ahead and lay this out for those who are watching afterwards, and of course those of you who are here live, we get the same explanation, but I decided to live stream this tonight. That way I could record almost 2 hours of campaign. This, of course, will be viewable on my channel after the fact if you cannot stay here the whole time, or if you can't watch the whole thing, or whatever, you weren't free tonight. It's okay. This will be viewable just like a regular video. And for the most part, I'm going to be treating it just like a regular video. I did not turn on the camera and sully your Roman killing experience with my ugly mug. And I'll be responding to comments in this much like I do during a normal campaign episode. It's just that those comments will be coming to me live. And then I'll also try and get to a few of the comments that were left on the last episode. And we'll talk through those. But definitely appreciate everybody who has joined live. And thank you ahead of time for those who are watching this afterwards. Yeah, anyway, like I said, this will give me the opportunity to make about a 2-hour episode, and we should be able to make a whole lot of progress, and I'm excited about it. Where we last left off, Hannibal was busy. Well, so here's the story. I'm going to lay out the story in a way that'll help this make sense. Unfortunately for us, Rome was a very disappointing enemy. I was worried this could be the case. I used mods to hopefully help prevent this from being the case, but it just didn't. It just didn't. So Rome ended up being a bad enemy. They lost control of Rome shortly before we arrived. So here's the story. Hannibal arrives in Africa to find that his former city had been taken. He then liberates that city from the Romans, and then goes on to attack and retake Sicily to right the wrongs of the past there. And then it moves into Brutium in order to kind of flip past history on its head, right? So when he was last here in the Punic, the Second Punic War, he entered from the north and headed south. Now he entered from the south and headed north. Unlike the Punic War, he did not have to actually take Rome in order to win it. So, again, history kind of flipped oddly on its head here. However, as one final embarrassment to the Romans, okay? They're going to look on from Brundisium here, operating in what's left of their once, empire. What we're going to do is humiliate the Romans by liberating their own capital for them. The people of Rome will beg for Hannibal to be at the gates. They will beg for him to break down the gates and free them from the Helvetii scourge and the barbarians. So Hannibal is going to lay down the ultimate embarrassment for the Romans that will forever be known in history, or at least our version of history here, that he embarrassed the Romans by having to liberate their settlements because they could not even take care of themselves. So here he is. So that's going to be the story that we play into this, since Rome got taken early, and hopefully you'll all find that version to be somewhat enjoyable. I think it will be. I think it'll be a fun way to play this one out. But anyway, yes, I'm going to say thank you real quick before I get into the action to a few people who have joined us here tonight. Tuso, Warner, Nerf Clasher, Bishop, Matthew, Michael, Mr. Snapple, Brian, Jeremiah, Captain Crazy. Welcome back. And we've got Star Seeker. Yeah, we got a lot of awesome people here tonight. So thanks for joining, and thanks for already being in the chat. You all can feel free to chat stuff there. I will be taking comments from time to time and answering them. But I'm going to try and keep this as much like a normal episode as I can. I'm definitely going to interact with the people who are here live. Like I said, I want to film this in such a way that it very much feels like someone just watching another episode of the campaign. In any case, we are here at the gates of Rome. And there's not much to be seen. We already start with siege engines, and the Helvetii only have a very tiny garrison here. So this will just be for gratuitous selfie reasons here. So we'll get in and get Hannibal's customary selfie at the gates. If you all aren't familiar with Hannibal's previous selfie at the gates, that came at the Hannibal and the Gates campaign, and I've now said the word gates probably 20 times in the last couple of seconds. So yeah, we're not only going to embarrass the Helvetii because we just killed all their armies and then came back to this, but we're also going to embarrass the Romans by showing them how easy it is to reclaim their once mighty city. Let's see. This is such a weird deployment zone. I thought we had towers. Do we not have towers? All I have is ladders here. It showed towers on the load-in screen because it wouldn't let me build them. They're like towers sitting somewhere along on the map. I don't see them. I'm confused. Oh well, that's kind of strange. Why didn't I just auto-resolve? Well, Jeremiah, that's a good question. Auto-resolve would probably make more sense in a lot of ways, but it also just... We have to get the selfie at the gates, and I think it needs to be probably right here at the main gate as well. Or, I mean, what do we call this? Is it the Hippodrome? What was the name of the racetrack? Can't remember. How come the Colosseum isn't here? CA. All the talk they put into this game about how great it was going to be, and it doesn't even look like Rome is very well modeled after the ancient city. Circus Maximus, yes, thank you. Circus Maximus. So it looks like they have that kind of, but we don't even have a Colosseum here. Wasn't it, what was it, a temple to Jupiter that was right in the middle of Rome? I can't remember. I can't remember what was right in the middle of Rome, historically speaking. It seems like I had read it once, but I just don't recall now.
By your command. Fire! Enjoy yourself.
All right, I'm gonna get some different infantry.
Melee infantry at your command.
Maybe the barbarians did some remodeling, is what T-Rex Rex says. So thanks for being here tonight, too, T-Rex. Yeah, maybe that's what we can assume. We'll just have to assume that the barbarians did some remodeling. It seems like mostly, you know, still very Latin-looking. They haven't had time to do a complete remodel. They have certainly apparently gotten rid of the Colosseum. Maybe they had, like, bad memories, right, of their people being taken, enslaved, and then put to work in the Colosseum.
And sack the city.
Oh.
Then we shall know glory. And we'll drink ourselves stupid.
Did y'all hear Hannibal say that we shall know glory and then drink ourselves stupid? Temple of Jupiter was located atop the Capitoline Hill. Thanks, Warner. So what I was thinking, it was something like that. I'm not great with, like, Roman history. I know a few little tidbits here and there, but... So yeah, I'm sure that people in the comments afterwards on this, and speaking of comments afterwards, I should go pick some and read those, because again, I know not everybody could be here live, which is totally fine, right? I didn't expect a lot of people to be live. I didn't get a chance to plan this way ahead of time. I actually kind of got burned by my internet service provider because I did plan the last time ahead of time, and then they made me look stupid whenever I had to cancel it. So I specifically did not plan this one ahead of time just in case my internet service was bad. But yeah, so let's grab Bishop Bling actually had, and he may be with us tonight. I thought I saw Bishop here somewhere. Maybe it was just a last name on someone. Yeah, maybe I'm just dreaming, but then again, I don't remember. Anyway, Bishop Bling had a comment from the last episode that I wanted to read here. It says, you're a brave man for going up against the fearsome and mighty RDA. I'd much rather fight the hordes of Skaven, Chaos, Beastmen, and Dark Elves all at once than suffer the brutality of the RDA. Oh man, I know not everybody who watches this campaign is into Warhammer 2, but that's hilarious. He's basically just poking a lot of fun at the RDA, and they deserve it. The RDA are really bad, and probably only Pergameme is down there as low on the tier list as the RDA, so they are very, very bad. I'm gonna burn the gates down here real quick. We've done a lot of damage to those short swords. This was not the grand siege of Rome that I had envisioned, but it is the grand siege of Rome that we will get. Here's a good question from live tonight. Marcus Winters says, Air, I noticed you don't use diamond formation on your cavalry units. Is there a reason why? Well, I have a reason why. I don't know whether or not it's 100% accurate, but my reason why is that I don't find the diamond formation to actually be helpful. It does increase certain statistics. I find it most helpful whenever you need to squeeze through a tight space. But other than that, I typically don't use it because I find the diamond formation lowers your defense so much that it's really just not worth it. And then also, in these older Total War games, your charge bonus is, of course, very, very important. And when you go into a diamond formation, your units compact, and not all of those units are able to even apply their charge bonus because some of them are blocked from hitting the enemy because their own units are in front of them. And so that is another reason why I don't use the diamond formation. I feel like it's better to spread out wide and get a nice, big, wide charge. And at that point, I think you'll cause more damage to your enemies than you would by going into diamond formation. Anyway, that's why I don't use the diamond formation. If anybody thinks I'm wrong, feel free to counter, but I don't think the diamond formation is worth it. Well, I started burning the gates down, but then we captured it, so we're gonna need to get a picture of Hannibal in front of the undamaged gates over here. Or I don't know, would the flaming gates make for a better picture? It probably would, actually. Yeah, I think it would. Let's move these archers out of the way. Actually, just go ahead and go inside the gates. We gotta get Hannibal up here for the gratuitous selfie. And we'll put some cataphracts up here, too, with him, just, really add to the vibe. And we're gonna need some pike. We're gonna need a very proper picture here. We need a grand selfie at the gates, not just a selfie at the gates. A grand selfie. All right, so we'll have the flames in the background. That'll look quite nice. The siege ladders all in place. I'm moving everybody else forward so we can take our pictures. Diamond formation's only for the riders of Rohan, apparently. It does boost certain stats. I want to say it usually boosts attack and charge bonus, but it usually slows down the rate at which your units can turn and accelerate, which is a downside. And then it usually drops your melee defense as well. And I usually don't find that worth it, especially when you end up in a grind. I think if you were trying to puncture a thin formation, maybe, but even still, I would recommend just hitting that thin formation with a wide line because you'll cause a ton of damage to it because of the way the charge mechanics work in this game. Now, there's going to be blood all over our elephants. Now, how did that even happen? Who got blood on Hannibal's elephant? Alright, so we got to get everybody into formation, get our thorax pikes, down here. It's too bad these weren't silver shields because that would have been even more picturesque. But we're going to need just the right angles. Hannibal's like all covered in blood, like that he's been in a fist fight. Oh, well, it'll add to the scene. Holy cow, man. He looks like a Sith. What am I seeing here? He's got like yellow eyes. And he's old. He looks like a Sith. Even his little crest on his helmet looks like it's like all burned off. That's awesome. He looks terrible, but it kind of fits the mood back here. All right, here's Sith Hannibal. All right, so hang on. I'm gonna get a close-up of him here. His shield keeps disappearing and reappearing. Wow. I mean, this is one grizzled, grizzled and ancient-looking Hannibal. This is not the beautiful selfie that we had previously, and his sword's not even showing up. CA, please. I mean, how old is this game? And we can't even get his sword to pop into view. Hannibal looks like death himself at the gates, but there he is. And let's get the group picture back here, because we need the group picture too, so everybody smile. Someone's got the camera on the end of a sarissa, kind of like a selfie stick here. So there we go. Everybody smiled for the selfie at the gates of Rome. Boy, 75-year-old Hannibal is really looking a lot like Emperor Palpatine. Like, I'm not... It could be the shadowing, because look, when we get up close, see right there? Some of it goes... I wonder if it's just weird shadowing, because this game did have some awful lighting at times. And it's weird, because the sun's kind of shining in his face, but we're getting, like, this awkward shadowing. I mean, I'd like to have a picture of him where he doesn't look like absolute death. Yeah, it was the shadows. Look at that. I moved him. Okay, maybe the Pikes are casting a shadow here. Wow, I mean, he looked absolutely terrible, but apparently it's just the shadows. All right, let's fast forward. That was just gosh awful. I mean, CA, please, what is this? I mean, maybe the lighting's better on this side.
The enemy general is dead.
Oh, I wasn't even trying to kill the enemy general, and he's dead. Speaking of, my archers are getting killed. But, that was an oath-sworn general that attacked me, too. They just must have had me in unison. I'm not even paying attention. I'm just busy taking selfies over here. My archers are like, Heir, we're getting killed, please. Help us. Like, hey, look, important things first, right? Important things. Now, this picture will look pretty good right here, you know? Blood splattered over his eye. I'm gonna try and take it from this angle over here. Maybe we get like the flaming gates in the background. Here we go. Here we go. Hannibal at the gates. Right there, folks. And captured in a slightly wider angle view here. Alright, yeah. That shadowing was really making him look like Darth Carthage there or something. Alright, now we're gonna take a ride through the streets on his elephant. These Oathsworn, I guess just... I didn't notice they were here, and they're kind of killing my archers, but I'm gonna just kind of do a point-blank flaming death of these Oathsworn, just to rub it into the Helvetii that they're so bad they couldn't even defeat some of my archers in melee. Look, this... I gave my guys an order to shoot towards each other with the enemy in the middle. And that guy's sitting there with flaming arrows stuck all over his body saying, Heir, thanks a lot. You know? It's like, just really, thanks a lot, Heir. I think there's only one. No, three left. Three left. It's 3 Oathsworn. Flame them away, boys. Look at these pathetic Helvetii. Send them to Elysium in style. Oh yeah, that was perfect. I love it. All right. Anyway, I think that if there are more defenders in Rome, there can't be many. Let's go take this. Here's our victory point. Is the shrine back here. Let's take Hannibal and our heavy cavalry in. Did I pause it? No. Alright, there we go. Anyway, let's grab another comment while I'm busy with the nonsense here and shenanigans. Thracian 117, I like that. It's like a Thracian Master Chief says, he says, let's see if it's any nicer if I take away a defensive stance. This was me talking about the auto-resolve, so he's quoting me. And then he says, you know, to quote what happens, he says, literally wipes out a whole unit. Yeah, I know. That is my luck with the auto-resolve. The auto-resolve is terrible and really, really, really bad. Oh, there is another unit over here. It's a unit of short swords. Now, it is very possible that these guys have some javelins, and I don't really want Hannibal to die to a short sword javelin this late into the campaign, so I'm gonna bring in Hannibal and the cataphracts all at the same time. So we'll get rid of these last defenders. Let's take it from their point of view. Got the god rays shining over the shrine here. And off in the distance, they see their death coming. And apparently, you know, hairy back and all, they're pretty excited about their death here. They're cheering. They may be trying to brace for this, but I don't think that's going to work out too well. Oh, they did have a javelin volley. See, folks, when you're playing Rome 2, just assume that whatever you're fighting has javelins, and then you'll be safer. So here comes Hannibal. Look at him. Got a sword up in the air. 75 years old. He just don't care. He's gonna bring it. Blood in the streets of Rome. There will be bloody elephant tracks. Look at this guy right here. It's quite the party. Oh, that's an awesome picture right there. I wish we could have gotten this one. This guy in the bronze armor. So yeah, this one's gonna be a good one. Anyway, let me get to a couple of the comments from the folks live here. Lazard Lord said, got here just in time for the fall of Rome, and he said it smells like burning dirt. Yep, that is pretty accurate. That is pretty accurate. Jason Kunkel says, one of Heir's archers gets lit on fire by a friendly unit, just shrugs and says, this isn't even the worst thing Heir has done to us. So accurate. You know what he'll get as a prize? He'll get a mug with my picture on it that says Heir's ugly mug. That's what he gets for the prize. But here we go, folks. Roma captured. Not that it was difficult. Most of the fighting took place outside of the city on the previous episode, but Rome is captured. So Hannibal embarrasses the Romans by liberating their city from the barbarian clutches. It is perfect. Hey, B-Dogs93, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate the 20. He says, happy 3-year member anniversary. Thanks for the hundreds of hours of entertainment. We don't deserve you, and congrats on Hannibal's final liberation of Rome. Thanks, B-Dogs. I appreciate you and the years of support, and definitely appreciate you a ton. Thank you. Glad you could be here with us tonight. I'm glad everybody could be with us. And if you're watching this afterwards, I do hope you're enjoying it. But there we go. I know it was a little anticlimactic. We took Rome kind of after the fact there, but, you know, we took the cards that they dealt to us and did our best to deal with it. So, B-Dogs, that celebration then was in your honor. Those flaming Helvetii, I hope you enjoyed that. Your donation helped fund the arrows and the tar that we had to light on fire in order to embarrass those Helvetii in your honor. So I hope that you appreciated the honor of knowing that those men died a terrible death for your entertainment here on stream and for the entertainment of everybody else. And like I said, hopefully that was enjoyable for you all. I know it was for me. I'm pretty happy with it. Go ahead and convert this one here. Thanks again, B-Dogs. Appreciate it so much. Yeah, all right, so we have taken Rome. Let me get a couple more comments from the folks live. Harry Beck says, I could do schoolwork or I could watch Heir. Well, I hope you don't fall behind in school, but, I mean, flaming the tattered defenders of Rome, it is kind of important. I don't think a school teacher would understand how important it is, but it is important. And then Jared Sybil says, and that Hannibal was taking selfies in your honor too. That's correct. Hannibal's selfies, you were funding Hannibal's gratuitous selfies there. I mean, they didn't have cameras back then, right? So he had to come up with something. Like, someone had to sit there and paint that. You got to pay the artist, right? You know, so it takes a long time. It takes a lot of work. Takes a lot of work indeed. So anyway, Rome under our control. Hollow Killer. Appreciate the donation. Thank you for the 5. He says, Heir, don't forget your heirs sitting in the east, and you can put that new son in an army. Yes, so here's my plan. So thank you, Hollow Killer. Appreciate your support, and thank you for being here tonight. And he brings up a good point that other people had mentioned in comments from the last episode too, so I'll address that now. And Hannibal's Revenge, of course, is currently run by Hannibal. Hannibal does have an heir apparent right now, which is actually, let's scroll over the family tree here. It is this guy here, Dionysiodorus, and he is back in the east. We will put him in Hannibal's army once Hannibal kicks the bucket, and we'll put a new general in Dionysiodorus's army. And then I'm going to do the same with Antiochus. So I'm kind of waiting for these two characters to kick the bucket. And then once they do, we'll move their heirs into their army, and they'll have that better army tradition, and we'll put a newer commander in their armies, which don't have quite as much army tradition. So definitely appreciate the donation, Holo Killer, and the reminder. And then for those who were commenting on the last episode as well, thanks for the reminder. And B-Dogs, again with the donation. Thank you so much, B-Dogs. He says, the smell of burnt Helvetii flesh fills the air and makes me smile. Well, I'm glad you're happy. And because you were kind enough to donate, I will definitely raise Brundisium in your name and for your enjoyment. So don't worry. More poor, near defenseless Romans will be sacrificed because of your kindness. And I'm sure that that will upset you very much. I know it'll upset all of us. We just hate to see the Romans treated that way. Some of you may be big Rome fans, and you may not like it, but if you're watching my channel, you're probably watching the wrong channel in terms of giving Rome a fair shake, because that's just not something that I'm particularly good at. Even though, I have to admit, the Romans got style. You know, all that red and purple color, that sweet segmented armor. The Romans definitely got some style I can appreciate. It is some good-looking stuff. Anyway, we have the RDA mostly dealt with. We can't do a ton else on this turn. But again, thank you to Holo Killer and B-Dogs. Just want to call you guys out here one more time and say thank you. I will thank you further by, providing a whole bunch more entertainment for you here, and then, of course, in the remainder of the episodes. I sometimes, obviously, it's humbling when folks are kind enough to donate like that, and I guess that the best thing I can do is just continue to make as much content for you as I can to try and make it worth your while. So, again, thank you. So we've got the Heralds of Triton. I'm kind of moving them up here to keep this Roman fleet out of the way. I would like to own all of Corsica, Sardinia, but at the same time, there's no reason for me to really make a war with the Gaiatuli at the moment. So we'll see. I do have a fair bit of cash left, and I'm going to use it to continue to improve Africa, because of course Hannibal will have, he will have had the ear of Antiochus and convinced Antiochus that investing in Africa is the best way to go. So we're going to spend our money here to really build up Africa and make it into something pretty impressive. So there we go. Hannibal got to see the liberation. So all in one lifetime, right? So in our version of history, get this will be fun, okay? In our version of history, all in one lifetime, Hannibal, at the young age, was sworn to always be the enemy of Rome. He then invaded Rome in the Second Punic War and failed, only to be exiled and find his way over to the Seleucid Empire, where he joins forces with Antiochus, helps reestablish Alexander's legacy, and then comes west, conquering Hellas, then liberating his home city from the Romans, and then humiliating Rome, all in a single lifetime. I think we have written Hannibal a proper history, one that the real Hannibal would actually probably be quite proud of if he actually could have had it. So in any case, hopefully this has turned out interesting. Again, I know we didn't get the huge challenge from fighting Rome like I wanted to, but it does look like we're going to be up against a fair large amount of barbarians, so that could get interesting here soon. Hannibal might become the next Caesar here, fighting against all the Celts, Arverni, and Gauls, and others. Anyway, Mikey, thanks for the 7 Aussie, I think it is, or 8 Aussie, sorry. He says, thanks for the great content and loving the Rome 2 campaign. Your content made me better at Total War titles. Well, that's very flattering. Thank you, Mikey. I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad to hear that the videos helped. I would say that certainly making videos was something that's always been fun for me, and it still is. But I think that I always hoped by making videos that people would watch it and not only enjoy it, but I'd always hoped that it would get more people into the game. And the reason for that is pretty obvious. I love these games, and I always want more people to play them because I think that they'll have a fun time with it. And then I also thought it would be a good way, obviously, for me to share the games that I love with other people. But I am glad to hear that the videos helped you. I know this may just be me, but in some ways I feel like I'm getting worse at these games as I get older. It could just be the fact that I'm getting older and I feel worse at everything in general, other than maybe, gaining knowledge along the way. But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, appreciate it, Mikey. Thanks for the support, and appreciate you being here tonight, and I'm glad that the videos helped you out. That is definitely a reward for me to have so many people who still like to watch the videos, and folks who are kind enough. Oh, look at this. Holy cow. The no, those are veteran legionaries. I thought they were Evocati for a minute. So this is a Roman last hurrah here, led by one Lucius Canulius, or I don't know how you pronounce that, Carbo. So Lucius Carbo here, a last hurrah for Rome, gets some Campanian cavalry and Tarentine riders, brings a Roman ballista, and comes for revenge against the Seleucid settlement at Apollonia. And honestly, the question, can they win this? I'm not sure if I mean, they probably can. But we could try something here. We could try something here. We'll see. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and fight this one. We've got a bunch of supporters here tonight, so thank you. I'll take the time to mention you all here. So Legamus, celebrating his membership for 2 months. He says, any signs of the great Turdetani Empire rising in the west? Now, we will send our spy immediately to see Legamus, so I will take my spy and go see whether the Turnetani are still alive. Unfortunately, they probably won't be, but if they were, boy, that would really just continue to add to what is turned to be a pretty epic campaign. So we can hope so, is what I'll go ahead and say. We can hope so. They're not going to have any cavalry because everything they have is coming off the boats. That is not going to work out well for the Romans. Well, actually, no, their cavalry... What? Their cavalry and stuff just auto-deploys out here? I know you all can't see me, but I'm scratching my head and thinking CA please here. But anyway, Legamus, yeah, I'll send the spy to the Turnetani. Nathan Adams, thank you for 5, and appreciate you being a supporter. Donating tonight, he says, I'm surprised you didn't use the Death Star to eliminate Rome from the map. He even has a Death Star as his avatar here in his YouTube name. So, Nathan, that is a fine point. And if Archimedes had still been around in Syracuse whenever we took it, we would have employed him to build an ancient Death Star, and then, of course, use it against the Romans. So, were that an option, I absolutely would have used an ancient Death Star against the Romans, and then it would have totally fulfilled the fact that Hannibal looked like Palpatine at the gates, and would have been very appropriate. So that would have been fun indeed. We have a few units here, plebs. Kind of thinking I can hide these Eastern Spears. Like, I'm wondering if I can hide the Eastern Spears, like, behind these buildings. It doesn't show them as hidden. Is there in line of sight of those ships? What about here? Doesn't show any of my units as hidden. I need to try and get at their ballista. It could potentially do... I think the Roman ballista is mobile. Like, I think they can actually move it. It's not like the giant ballista where it's stuck in place. Yeah, that one has wheels. That ballista is going to be a bit of a problem. I'm actually going to get a little risky here. I wonder if I can just go ahead and deploy like this. The Campanian cavalry is a big worry. Let's say that they suicide me. 4 slingers can probably chop through them, right? And then especially if I'm using the mob for charge bait. I'm going to try this because the Romans are going to have a hard time getting to all of my pikes. The only big issue here with the pikes is that they're going to take a lot of javelins, but if I can clear out the cavalry and get ready to come back and support them, we should be in good shape. I'm going to push these guys forward just a hair. I don't want my enemies to be able to get around the edges of these buildings, but I kind of want these buildings to provide a little bit of missile protection here. Alright, so let's get this battle underway.
We await your orders.
I hear my general over there praying to Poseidon. Oh, great Poseidon, sink that Roman fleet. Alright, we're already under ballista fire here. Well, I guess if nothing else, these cheaper troops will take the ballista fire, which in and of itself is helpful here. The Campanian cavalry is headed away from me and may be choosing to go headlong into my pikes, which would be absolutely wonderful. Because that is some tough as nails cavalry. What I need to do here is defeat the Tarentine cavalry, and then run my units out here to destroy the Roman ballista. Yeah, my slingers are going to make fairly short work. The Campanian cavalry still moving in. Oh yeah, Tarentine cavalry dropping like flies now. Excellent. This is good news. This is good news. Alright, so there goes the Tarentine cavalry. I can now rededicate these units back towards town center. We do need to be careful though. We don't want to get run over by Campanian oh, they're headed this way. Alright, it's about to get real. This Campanian cavalry is going to cut through these units like butter. That unit is extremely well equipped to deal with light infantry. It's going to be like a laser going through us here. I'm hoping I can hold the Campanian cavalry though, discharge all the javelins from my hillmen, and then get a lot of slinger fire here, and we can weaken them up significantly. Yep, the hillmen are now throwing javelins. We're basically going to sacrifice our mob in order to kill the oh, it's working beautifully. It is working beautifully right now. And then I'm going to get the Roman ballista as well. Wicked, thank you for joining us tonight. Wicked, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to give him an introduction here because he deserves it for all the support and help he's given me over the years. Wicked is a moderator that helped run my Discord, and he does a ton of great work for me there. He loves playing Warhammer 2 and other games, many other games, and really appreciate him. He's been an awesome member of my community that has helped me out to a degree that I can't even fully accurately represent everything that he's done here, so appreciate you, Wicked. Thanks for being here tonight. Make sure and give him a call out here. And then I'll get some other comments here in the chat. Jason, who is here with us live tonight, says, just got home from work, logged on to look for a new Seleucid video to find a stream. Let's go. That's right, life is good, Jason. Excellent timing. Excellent timing. So, yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate you being here. And I'm going to go into the comments from the last episode, too, and grab one of those real quick while we're waiting on the Romans to arrive here. Lucas Alfino, in the last episode, 26, he commented and said, I did understand and agree with what you said in the last video about factions having their absolute unique things and the difference, and honestly, RDA was a perfect example of it. Being Illyria raiders and pirates back in the day just would have been cool to be based around it, apart from some of the simple buffs, actually shows it more with perhaps the units and buildings and whatnot. I think what he's getting at is that the RDA were fairly unique, and they were. For me, the biggest problem was that while their roster was unique, it was kind of crappy. And so I think that the RDA suffered from a lack of any decent units. I'm going to once again sacrifice my poor mob to try and absorb Roman Pila. And then same thing with my hillmen. The more Pila that we absorb with these cheaper units, the better for us. But rest in pieces. If you feel like it, you can press F in the comments and the chat for the mob and my other sacrificial infantry here that will be sacrificed to Poseidon in order to absorb the Roman Pila. Oh yeah, I mean, if we let the Warner is live in the chat pointing out that if we let the Romans discharge their javelins, their Pila, they're gonna almost wipe out my pikes, and he is absolutely correct. It will be brutal if we let them just go after our pikes there. Pila cause a lot of damage. They cause a lot of damage. Yeah, the RDA were unique in the sense that their units were somewhat unique. It's just that they sucked. And, I know that people wouldn't like it. Did I just hear Silostra? I just heard singing. Like, female singing. Did anybody else hear that? I know that not all of you play Warhammer. Silostra is like a ghost pirate lady in Warhammer, and she's always singing. So I could have just sworn that I heard a lady singing. If anybody else heard that, feel free to comment. That way I don't feel as crazy, but I'm pretty certain I heard it. And these guys did not throw any javelins at my troops who were in the way, so rest in pieces, my pikes. Okay, Anonymous says that he heard it, so Air is not entirely crazy, it would seem. Only somewhat crazy. Oh, there's a lot of veteran legionaries. We're gonna have to wear these guys down. I was really hoping they would throw their Pila. at my units, and if they don't throw them at my pikes, that's great, but they did not throw them at my cheaper units. We're lucky that this isn't Warhammer and that wasn't Silostra, because if I was sitting here camped like this, she would have used like Van Geist Revenge, that spell, and would have just wiped out all of my pikemen here.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
I have javelin bait units up here. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna be pursued by the Romans. I'm gonna have to fall back with my slingers. See, they're ignoring. Well, their levies are throwing their javelins at my general. That's also really bad. I'm gonna take my hillmen since they're ignoring. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. I'm gonna go attack these levies for a minute. I don't want these guys throwing their javelins at me. Yeah, the Romans actually have made the right choice here. They didn't discharge their javelins initially, and now they're going to do it into my pikes, and it is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. Let's move up again. These guys stopped pursuing me. We took one volley right here. And this poor sop, he took it. So 4 of my men died to the initial volley, but it does a lot of health damage too. It's not always just units lost. Now the levies are firing at me again. There comes another volley. Again, fortunately for me, losses weren't too egregious. I wonder if I can bait a volley out of this veteran legionary here. Oh gosh, that's not what I wanted. I just baited it out right into my slingers too. At least the springers are spread out wide. I can't seem to get these guys to throw at my eastern spears, and this levy I can't get it to quit firing either. They've killed 60 plus of my men already. This is very, very bad. This is really bad what this levy's doing to me right now. It's just massacring me. It could still be okay, potentially, depending on what happens here. Come on, throw those Pilla. You know you want to. I can't get the Romans to commit to attack me here, and so then they won't throw their Pilla. And I can't get around them to get into that levy. It looks like the levy managed to discharge all of its ammunition, caused massive damage to me. Really, really bad. And I can't get this veteran legionary to commit its Pilla to me. Now, any Romans I kill over here will definitely be worth it, because then it means that they won't be able to fight against me elsewhere. Romans, though, are very, very well armored, very well shielded. We're going to try and shoot them in the back as they kind of play a little bit of cat and mouse with us here. There we go. Alright, we baited the Pilla out of Lucius here. He couldn't help himself. Alright. Now this unit of veteran legionaries is now being absolutely shredded by my slingers. We've started to do a lot of health damage to it. We're going to fall back. It shouldn't be able to catch me. Now as long as the Romans just keep bunching up in front of me here, this should be okay. If they spread out, take their time, discharge all their Pilla, they will absolutely massacre me. I'm going to actually go ahead and pull this Eastern Spear back and refuse that fight for now. That way I don't just, you know, give the Romans freebies on the power bar. And we baited out another javelin volley. I don't like losing slingers to these guys. Well, another one too. I guess at least they can't throw it at my pikes is the only real benefit of this situation to me. I'm gonna try and get this Roman unit pulled in between, you know, a rock and a hard place here, so to speak. As they run towards one group of slingers, I'm just gonna fire with the other. And for now, we're gonna be alright over here. It's gonna take a very long time to defeat these Romans, but probably will work. Oh yeah, these Romans are taking an absolute thrashing now. They're caught right in between my two units. And they're being dealt some serious damage. Whenever they get hit in the back, their shield doesn't get its block chance either, and they take even more extreme damage. So yeah, they are down to their last 30 units. Our pikes are holding out fairly well, but you see like this kind of awkward spot here. If the Romans get close to my pikes, they'll do extremely well in melee. Let's see if we can finish these guys. I mean, at least this is one unit of veteran legionaries, which can't commit itself or its Pila into the fight with my pikemen. So this bodes very well for me. Wow, these guys are barely wavering. They're down to 7 men. 5. Veterans indeed. Alright, I'm going to fast forward for a minute, bring my slingers back over here. We're slowly kind of being pushed by the Romans here, that mass of infantry units, but we're also getting a ton of kills. Look at the kill count here on my levy pikemen. This is where pikes can fight way above their weight class. Whenever they can keep themselves safe on the flank, they punch way above their weight class, but they're absolutely terrible in any other fight except for the perfect from the front fight. And so that's the downside to pikemen. They're not as maneuverable, and like I said, you get them in any type of fight where it's not front on, and they're terrible. Just awful. But these guys are going to do very spectacularly. We should be able to win this. I'm going to get my slingers lined up and start firing away at Lucius here. His shields are going to be up, but we should be able to lure him. Alright, feed it to Lucius, men. Give him a hearty Seleucid welcome. I love the veteran legionary model. It looks so cool. Those are really awesome looking units. Is that a true poke bowl of Romans? It is. These Romans are going to be skewered, grilled. They'll be delicious. It's an auxiliary unit. Yeah, it is. That's an auxilia unit. Vigiles. No, Vigiles. I was thinking auxilia. Well, there we go. Lucius is defeated. And Rome is broken in more than one way right now. Her once mighty legions left to being skewered on the end of my sarissas. But there we go. That is going to be quite successful. Yeah, that was very fortunate for us. Hollow Killer, I think I missed your chat earlier. I apologize profusely. Thanks for the 5 again. He says, put only 1 or 2 pikes in line so you have a fresh reserve. Yes, that was another way we could have done it, is put 2 across the front and then 1 in reserve. He is correct. Instead, what I ended up doing here that worked was I just used bait units to get some of the javelins out of the Romans. But yeah, you can always do reserve units where possible. And that will also save you some of the pain and death from the initial missile volleys that come in from Roman troops and so many other troops in this game. But thank you again, Hollow Killer. Appreciate you so very much. Thanks for being here tonight. TF Legend Reborn says, rebuild Alexander's legacy. We are rebuilding it. Look at Carthage. Carthage has a fleet up there to our north. I have another awesome moderator joining me here tonight. Is also a moderator over on my Discord, so Survivor X Clone here as well. We got 3 of them here tonight: Warner, Wicked, and Survivor X Clone. Thank you so much to them. They do a ton to help my channel. And then Pratani is not here at the moment, but another one of my moderators who does a fantastic job for me. Definitely appreciate them a lot. So thank you for all that you all do. Son comes of age. Another child has died. Man, we lose children so often here. It has been rough on the kids. I think that's one of the ones that may have just died right here. Dang, man. 12 years old. So out of the 4 kids here, only 1 lived to adulthood. 1 here. 1 here hasn't even lived to adulthood yet. There's 2 left in this family of 3. So, man, these ones better really consider themselves fortunate. Holy cow. A rough life. None of Hannibal's family has died yet. What are we feeding those kids? I don't know, but someone better start testing their food, because it's getting rough. It's getting real rough. Let's see if any of these guys have enough gravitas to get married, or these ladies. One of them is close there at 18. And we got one at 17 here. We can do more organizing of games. There's really no need. I think they'll have enough gravitas soon. They're only 16, so it's not like they're about to kick the bucket. Should have plenty of time to get them married off. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cleopatra, what? Cleopatra in our court? Is this like the Cleopatra, or does Rome just do this? They just name someone Cleopatra and make them look very Egyptian queen-like and just throw them into the game. I mean, we do have an Egyptian families. Alright, we're adopting Cleopatra into the family. I mean, we got Hannibal here. We've already got a guy named Pyrrhus. We might as well adopt Cleopatra, right? I don't see why not. Alright, Antiochus. Or should we have Hannibal adopt Cleopatra? No, we're going to have Hannibal adopt Cleopatra. That's even better. Hannibal's going to adopt Cleopatra. So, there we go. It's too bad we can't put her in command of an army or something. That'd be awesome. Get her in some good old-fashioned Bronze Age Egyptian chariots. Oh boy, here we go. Wow, that's 10% to faction-wide trade agreements. I'll take that. Cleopatra, we'll give her some cunning, why not? She can't lead an army, unfortunately. None of these things are really going to matter. Let's seek marriage with her. Right, so Cleopatra takes a husband. Yeah, it's too bad we can't rename him Caesar. Wait, her name was Cleopatra Thea, and then... Okay, never mind. Her name just came across here. I thought it named this guy after her. I was like, what? So here's her husband. The young couple. Now, Hannibal's really putting on quite the legacy here. I like it. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. I was hoping we could find stuff that reduces corruption faction-wide, but we don't have it. Plus 1% research. Ooh. Careful there, CA. Don't give me too much benefit from this awesome... So every 100 turns, I'll get 1 extra research done. Thank you, CA. I mean, that is gracious. That is absolutely gracious. This adds corruption faction-wide, which we don't want. Sometimes the buffs that you get from retainers and stuff in this game are pretty underwhelming. Pretty really underwhelming. Philopator was the actual Cleopatra. Okay. Alright, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about her, honestly. I haven't read that much. I know of her. And know, obviously, that she was involved with, which one of the, Why can't I think of his name right now? The Roman that was down there. One of you is going to chat it out here and just... Yeah, Mark Antony. There it is. Yeah, Mark Antony. Man, his name totally slipped my mind there for a minute.
Ready for orders.
Ah, securing promotion will help him get enough gravitas. Good idea. Thank you. Let's take care of that real quick. Can we secure a promotion? Available as family leader declared. Let's declare heir. Secure promotion is the promotion here. Not available. Character has to be at least 20 years old to be promoted. Once they're 20 years old, then we can promote them. Like Cleopatra, for instance, we can promote her. But it takes away loyalty for other parties, so I don't know if that's particularly helpful, to be honest. Wow, these other parties aren't liking the fact that I'm becoming so large. You know what? Let's have a little fun here. Let's have a little fun. Let's go over to politics. I've been working so hard to keep these guys loyal. How about a little provoking? And then maybe even a good old-fashioned purge. But first, let's provoke the Greek families. Let's see if I can convince them. Your attempts to provoke a military conflict failed, however, tensions remain. All right, good. I'm gonna start just provoking the Greek families here. They want to be so disloyal. They want to be so angry. Go ahead. Make my day, punk. That's all I got to say to that. Make my day. I've got Athena's Faithful over here who would love to have a visit with you. Speaking of, I'm going to go refit Athena's Faithful as well. But yeah, we're going to do a little provoking. I keep dancing around, trying to be nice to these guys, trying to get us to all be friends. No more. Oh, let's send the Heralds of Thanos. Let's let Antiochus get to take out the final Roman settlement. It's not like Hannibal really has much of the challenge left here anymore. Take our fleet. Our fleet could definitely help us at Genoa and some other places. Let's, we wanted to go send our spy. I said that I would send my spy to go check on what we hope is the Turdetani Empire over here in Iberia, but should we be so lucky, we will see. My spy is moving that way. But yeah, we're gonna make things, we're gonna spice things up a little bit of civil war. I'm gonna run some more upgrades. Took up most of my cash. Okay. Check out movement points. Our dignitary had been looking around at the Iceni. Trying to get an idea who's around down here. It doesn't look like the Iceni even took over the whole... This is sad sometimes when the AI factions like don't even conquer the area nearby them. Even though I have a mod that makes it easier for them to do so. Look at this, Carthage has a large transport fleet here. The Judge's Will. I wonder if we can get into some diplomacy with Carthage. They do like me, which is amazing because I occupy their city. And it looks like Carthage's capital is... Now, this would be a beautiful capital to have here. Oh, man. The Balearic Islands. I have seen pictures of them in real life, and they look beautiful.
Carthage welcomes you. You have our rapt attention.
It is good to be welcomed by Carthage, you know? How about a trade agreement? Anything else that the mighty Carthage, or the once mighty Carthage, I should say, they don't look so mighty anymore. We'll give them a trade agreement, and let's give them a non-aggression pact while we're at it. There we go.
By Tanith.
Also, the U is silent in turds. Alright, here comes... I wonder if Carthage is trying to take this settlement from the Gaiatuli. Are they at war with the Gaiatuli? It would make sense if they were. But they're not. They're at war with Syracuse? Still has a fleet over here? There's a Syracusan fleet? Where? Does anybody see a Syracusan fleet? Oh, okay, it's sitting off Sicily. I was looking in the wrong place. I'm like looking around everywhere. So the Syracusan fleet is off Sicily. Can't come ashore here. So I guess we'll sail around. The RDA. Alright. Let's go ahead and end our turn here. Pamela has a good question here. Who is the best Roman commander in history? Well, I don't know who the best is through, like, say, like a thorough study of all achievements and stuff like that. I have a favorite Roman commander. It's Trajan. And I don't know why. I just always kind of enjoyed reading about his conquest, Dacia and other places. So I liked reading about Trajan. What do you all think? Maybe that would be a good comment section in the video for people watching this afterwards, and then for anybody here live, we can talk for a while on who do you think was the best Roman commander, but more widely, if you don't know anything about Roman commanders or don't care, who is your favorite historical commander, period? A lot of people are obviously going to be a big fan of Scipio. I can't agree with that, honestly. I don't think Scipio is all that great. But that's because I'm a big Hannibal fan, and so that's obvious why I wouldn't think that. I think Caesar would probably have a pretty strong resume in terms of one of the more effective Roman commanders. I think that would be hard to argue. Got Aurelian being listed in here as well. So you all can continue. Tell me what you think. Here's a fun comment for someone live here. William Farmer says, not gonna lie, I mainly watch the videos because of your unique sounding voice. Never heard anyone with a voice like yours. Well, I'll hopefully take that as a compliment. Some people really get irritated by my voice, actually, for some reason. A lot of people tend to think that I am like a big time chain smoker, because I guess there's like some grisly sound in my voice. Wicked says kite Gustus, so the Roman commander who was constantly draw kiting. Yeah, I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it, William. I'm glad you enjoy the voice. I'm glad you don't find it annoying. I used to get a lot of comments from people that would say, dude, your voice sounds just like Chris Griffin on The Family Guy. And I'm like, what? I mean, I know that I probably had the occasional crack in my voice back in the day, but Chris Griffin, kind of sounds like a young man going through puberty where his voice is constantly cracking, and we all have to go through that as a young man. But well, I guess everybody who's a young man at some point has to go through it. Not everybody, obviously, but in any case, yeah, I never got the Chris Griffin comparison, but apparently some people thought it. So I don't know. You all have to tell me if you think there's any comparison there. But personally, I didn't get it. But maybe it does. Maybe I'm the weirdo who doesn't hear it. Alright, so getting some stuff built at Carolus there. Might as well go ahead and kind of shore it up. Make it nice and safe and sound. And then I want to move from Rome with Hannibal and attack the Helvetii at Ariminum. I don't even know where these guys came from. I guess Medlon would be their capital. We'll have to see when we get up there. They have some defenders here, so at least we'll get a fight out of this. I don't think it's going to be a great fight, but it'll be a fight. Hollow Killer says his favorite commander is Subutai of the Mongols. Never read about him. And then Sean believes that the best Roman was Gaius Marius. I mean, he could certainly have a claim. I mean, the way he reformed the legions and other stuff certainly had a big impact on Roman history from a military standpoint. So, all right, let's get our troops ready for combat. Take my thorax pikes in the center here. Back them up with archers. I'll leave Hannibal here because that'll be a good support point. Take some cataphracts down this flank with some swordsmen. And I'll take my Thurio spears and Ozet knights down this flank. Alright, let's get you all some close-ups on these units too. I don't look at them very often, but like here's the Ozet knights. These are some really tough melee cavalry. Probably some of the toughest in the game. I don't remember all the units perfectly, but if anybody does, what was the toughest melee cav? I know there's some very tough barbarian melee cavalry, and then I know Ozet knights were extremely tough. It's just that, you know, a lot of times what was good in, ooh gosh, a little bit of an issue right there. I'm gonna actually move over here. Sometimes what was, you know, tough in campaign wouldn't necessarily be good in multiplayer because of the cost. So things could vary a little bit given situations. I actually kind of redeploy a little bit because the AI is bringing in reinforcements and it's causing them to move in a way that I wasn't expecting. Germanicus got the eagles back. I've heard of Germanicus, but I'm not terribly familiar with like his history in any depth. Alright, that got those short swords to change their direction there. They started coming under fire from my Persian light archers. And they're getting... fortunately, they've got the shield on that side, but they're still taking flank shots. And these Celtic skirmishers are going to take a bit of a savaging here, too. I'm going to use my knights to kind of help pin these guys in. Reinforcements are on the way, but they're still going to coming in. Alright, so... I don't know what these Helvetii are thinking. They're getting absolutely slaughtered by my archers. They may be trying to form up with their reinforcements. I'm gonna kind of keep closing the vice here. Alright, yeah, so we are definitely kind of closing up any opportunity the Helvetii I had to break out of here. Whenever your pikes can get into this dense of a formation, and the enemy can't outflank you, it is literally impossible to win those fights. Axe warriors. Axe warriors might be decent, I don't know. I'm gonna charge these pathetic spearmen right quick and wipe them off the map, and then get my archers ready to face the oncoming horde over here. I'm gonna collapse my Ozet Knights and my pikemen. I'm not even gonna put them in pike formation. I'm just gonna charge them into the back of this so that we can get as much pressure here as quickly as possible and crush these pathetic Helvetii, whatever. Oh man, yeah, they're getting absolutely stomped. Archers. Easy. There we go. Alright, now let's get our infantry formed up. Alright, barbarians are us. Thank you for the 5, and appreciate you watching tonight and supporting. It's great to have you here. He says, my favorite general will always be Ulysses S. Grant. I don't need superior terrain. I have a Union peasant spam, blood for the blood god. I don't think I've ever heard Grant talked about as, you know, in the same sentence as the hordes of corn, but I like it. I think it's appropriate. And I think that if Grant would have ever known about the mighty warriors of corn, that he would have appreciated it, and probably himself would have ridden into battle chanting blood for the blood god. And skulls for the skull throne. Thanks, Barbarians R Us. Appreciate the 5. Thank you to everybody else who is here tonight, and for those who are watching afterwards. It is fantastic. Really appreciate you all. I'm having a lot of fun streaming this. Hopefully you all are enjoying watching it too. I love making it. I really do thoroughly enjoy making this campaign for y'all. It has been a true delight. I knew I would have fun coming back to Rome 2, but it was even more fun than I thought it would be, and I love it. So I'm glad that we decided to do this campaign. I appreciate the folks who voted on it and helped get it all set up and came up with the idea. I did not think of this idea all on my own. There was a lot of people voting, making suggestions, talking through it, and it really helped create just a really fun campaign.
By your command.
All right, I'm gonna charge forward here with my Thorax swords, Thurio spears. We're gonna need a little bit of help on this flank. I'm gonna go ahead and massacre. Now, I need to get a close-up of this real quick, because I very much enjoy seeing barbarians just going headlong into this pure Hellenic greatness that is my pike phalanx. It is beautiful. The arrows flying overhead, barbarians dying in droves. Alexander would absolutely love this moment. He would have a tear of joy in the side of his eye. I'm gonna try and charge through here, bust through. We've got these slingers really working me over here. We'll bring Hannibal around and let him get some a piece of this barbarian fun. These short swords and stuff are not going to perform well with heavy cavalry in the mix. There goes a unit of Celtic skirmishers. I'm going to get the other slinger unit. I really want Hannibal to get a chance in here and get some kills. I'm going to bring these Hellenic cataphracts around. We're a good old-fashioned hammer and anvil charge. Alright, Hannibal. Unleash your elephants.
One of our units has used all its ammunition. Our general is under attack.
Oh, he may be under attack, but let's not kid ourselves. He's quite safe. Alright, so Hannibal's racking up the kills here, already 120. We're just going to kind of throw him down this line. I used Unity, which buffs the morale of my entire army, which really isn't necessary, but it's fun. Oh my gosh, Hannibal's getting so many kills. He's already up to 275. He's just kind of trampling across the barbarian line. This was always a pretty effective way to use your elephants in Rome 2. Was to just kind of run them along an infantry line and just watch them annihilate everything in their path. I think the naval reinforcement should be over here somewhere. I did lose some Thurio spears in the melee. We thoroughly crushed the reinforcements for the Helvetii. Yeah, let's go take care of the naval reinforcements. That should be what's keeping this battle going here. Imagine elephants against the Skaven. Ooh, it would work out quite well. It's a good point, Harry Beck. Speaking of comments, hey, while we're doing this, let me go get some comments from some of those folks who were on the last episode as well. Unidentified Leviathan said, air may or may not smell like cheese. Only his defeated enemies will know because they are the only ones close enough to sniff. I love it. Leviathan, fantastic comment. Thank you for being a viewer and appreciate you. And speaking of, Barbarians are us. Thank you for the support again. It says, my heart watching the Barbarians impaled on pikes. Look what they did to my boys. I know. Sorry I'm destroying your namesake there, but hey, those barbarians don't have to represent you, right? We know that you would be that barbarian who would know better than running headlong into the pikes, and that you would have been busy hiding in the woods and getting all shroomed up for the battle, and then coming in screaming and sending your enemies fleeing in terror. We trust that you would have been a proper berserker. which is why you came up with the title Barbarians Are Us. Warner has an excellent comment here too. He asked, where were the Seleucids when the Westfold fell? And that is a good question. How come no one came to the aid of Rohan? I mean, is that really fair? Alright, so Ariminum is going to be in Hannibal's control, and he will further disgrace the Romans by freeing their people. We are at full Imperium. So we can have max armies, fleets, dignitaries, champions, all that stuff. Speaking of champions, we should have more of them. We should have more of them. I'm not using near as many as we could be. How my income went down so much? Did I lose a trade agreement? Huge population. It could just be that it's winter time. I think your income changes some over the course. Well, it also could be Imperium, actually, because I believe the Imperium messes with your upkeep and stuff like that, if I remember right. So it very well could be the Imperium. Riminum, let's fix this place up. So first of all, I don't want a patchy factory at Rome. It would be funny, but probably not what we should be doing. Turn Rome into a bit of a recruitment mecca here. Let's convert over some of the buildings in these settlements. There we go. Alright, so Italia is being properly rebuilt. Let's see. Griffin's Grace is kind of just guarding Africa for now, and Africa is becoming quite secure. Becoming quite secure indeed. And put a, I think we might be able to issue more edicts now too. If we can, which I think we can. I have the edict in Syria for tax harvesting, and Nabatea, I have a tax harvesting edict there as well. Looks like we're working on tax harvesting in Ethiopia because we have the gold mine there. Africa is our next highest in terms of income, so it may not be a bad idea to initiate the tax harvesting edict there. Okay. You should change the name of your empire to the Eastern Roman Empire. Can we change the name of it? But we can't be the Eastern Roman Empire because we are reestablishing Alexander's empire here. But yeah, we have a huge risk for parties to secede at this point, and honestly, I mean, bring on the secession. The Egyptian families are quite loyal. The other families are extremely angry with me. I'm gonna try, like, I can't afford to provoke them, unfortunately, but I can have units in position to deal with them. The Greek families own Cilicia, so let me show you all the political map here. So the Greek families are in control of Cilicia, and the Parthian families are in control of Aegyptus. Now, we do really need to get quite serious about the protection of Aegyptus, because it is going to be very, very bad if we were to lose our food supply there. So we should get very serious about, I think I'm just going to raise an army there. I can march an army over there, then it leaves me out of position in this vicinity. So I think I'm going to just raise an army in Egypt. Can you all riddle this out for me, because it's been so long since I have played this game, but if this faction who owns Egypt rebels against us, I know that they take the territory away. If I have any armies in Egypt, do they just flip to that faction? Or is it only if that army is controlled by the leader, one of the leaders in that army is that faction, but if they're a member of my party, surely they don't flip over just because they're in that territory when it happens? I wouldn't imagine that being the case. I don't think it would be. They won't take your armies. The army has to be controlled by a leader of that party. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I could just march this army over there, because I don't really need it here for the time being. I'm going to go ahead and do that and start march. Well, will it get there in time is the question. Probably not. Should probably go ahead and raise an army in Egypt on the next turn, though we have a pretty good risk of things falling apart. We could take our army from Africa over there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take our army from Africa and march back to Alexandria. It'll take me a number of turns, but it'll be quicker than raising an army, and it'll be quicker than that other army getting there. And this army that is securing Carolus can always jump back to North Africa in order to pull a defense as needed. I want to rid the world of Syracusans, but I can't do it until the next turn, unfortunately. The Sons of Rhea can kind of just stay put for the time being. They're okay, and then the Defenders of Olympus, again, are kind of staying put to rid the remnants of the RDA here. Jacob says that's why you got to keep your family big and don't hire the other parties as generals. I agree. I mean, it seems pretty straightforward in terms of how we would want to keep them from having opportunities. I think the Romans are going to leave Brundisium and come attack me at Cassentia. And once again, they've got a number of veteran legionaries and some artillery. We could probably beat these guys, but I don't want to play a whole bunch more of these battles with my time on camera tonight. So I'm just going to auto-resolve it and give it to them. Just going to auto-resolve it and give it to them. This way I can spend more time doing other fun things here. Plus, you know, this just means that we'll have more Romans to kill before the end of all this. Right? In the end, more Romans to kill. I'm surprised Carthage was so amicable to us because we're so enormous. And we control so much territory, including their former capital. They are surprisingly amicable to us. I guess we had no defense at Neopolis because it just turned straight to the Syracusans. Interesting. Well, I'll have Hannibal rectify this little rebellion.
Shall we hack at each other until our enemies can go?
No. I'm sorry, but there won't be any peace treaties for the mighty Helvetii. Come do something about it. Like, if you want peace, come beat me. You want peace? Come beat me. Sure, we'll hire an important character. Enemy wounded, edict cancelled in Syria. Why did we lose an edict in Syria? Oh, I guess because we issued an edict elsewhere? I didn't realize that it was going to cancel the one in Syria. Whoops. I was worried that somehow we lost a territory in Syria, and I was like, what? I don't really know how that was going to work. I'm going to go ahead and do this research here. It's 10 turns, but reducing corruption will help a lot right now, as well as increasing tax rate. Help make up for this high Imperium level that we're facing at the moment. And our income is back up with the different change in season here, too, so winter was certainly a part of it. Our army is marching towards Alexandria, should arrive in the next 3 turns here, so hopefully in time to fend off any rebellion, because rebellion is coming. Not going to be able to fight it for much longer.
Attack!
A little worried about this Roman fleet here getting a hold of my transports with my king. It very well could if I sail this way. I'm going to err on the side of safety here with Antiochus. I don't feel like getting him killed by a chumpy Roman fleet. Really need Hannibal to come back down here and help rectify some of this, but I guess I could just use my fleet to do it. I think I'm going to do that because Hannibal... We have this annoying RDA transport fleet here, but Ariminum's going to have almost... It won't have a garrison because it's too weak at the moment. Just a small RDA fleet here. We need to kill these guys. I'm worried what the auto-resolve will do to me, though. It is just a transport fleet, so surely they'll be kind to me. I'm going to quick save this just in case. Says all of our forces are going to be remaining. Raise another army. Yes, I intend to. I'm trying to think about exactly where I want to raise it. That was a question from Ian, who's saying, or I say more of it, not really a question, more of a statement, that he wants me to raise another army. We absolutely can, and we will. But at the moment, I don't know exactly where I want to raise it. We could raise one here in Africa, feasibly. I think I'm going to go ahead and leave this army over here in the vicinity of the Saba, just to keep the Saba honest. I really worry about them turning against me. Wow. Wait, all this turned green, and I thought for a minute the Arverni owned it all. No, never mind. The Arverni aren't as large as I thought they were. If we should open trade with the Gaiatuli.
I greet you in my master's feared name. Speak. I
Might as well.
This in my lord's name.
I don't plan on fighting them anytime soon. Massilia is going to get crumped, so definitely no dice there. I still have trade with Pergamon and Pontus, which is surprising because they both hate me quite a lot, but they're probably both also very afraid to fight me, and it's the same with the Roxolani. If we get backstabbed by the Roxolani, it's going to be a bit of a mess. I have an army kind of in the general vicinity, but not exactly. Okay, let's go take a look at army movement and other movements. Our dignitary is discovering that the Iceni are not near as large as I had hoped they would be. I guess similar to what we had with the Romans, so let's go ahead and move down here, and then let's get... I do this sortation here, screwed it all up. Let's get my spy. We are moving towards Turdatani territory here. These are in control of Numidia. So unfortunately, it looks like the Turdatani Empire that we had all hoped for just isn't going to be there. But look at this, Carthage. Not just relegated to the Balearics, and then Nova Carthago still here as well. So a very much smaller Carthage still operating over here. Carthage actually really likes me right now.
In the name of the people of Carthage, you are welcome.
They are militarily allied with the Arverni. Would not have expected that. I got a defensive alliance with Carthage now. I kind of want to help protect them, if we can do such. But I don't want to be nice to the Arverni. Let us get into diplomacy. No, not diplomacy, sorry. Let's go over here to politics, and I'm going to once again attempt to provoke the Greek families into a military rebellion. They still failed, but we are indeed ramping up the tensions. Just like throwing money at us, like, hey, want to fight? Huh? Huh? Want to fight? It's like you're just sitting there poking them over and over again. Oh, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Do we have any of these new settlements over here where we're about to get patchy factoried? No. I'm gonna put just a little bit of money over here into these. Alright, there we go. So we'll build up Illyria a little. And I believe I've moved most all of what we need to. I gotta wait with Hannibal just to hold off this little transport fleet, retaking Ariminum. So I'm gonna leave him there. The Heralds of Thanos are... They were kind of trying to stay away from that Roman fleet here. It still does concern me. My own fleet, I need to help retake Neopolis. So I'm gonna play it extra safe here. That Roman fleet concerns me. I don't know if they can see me if I travel all the way down here, though. Hopefully I would be out of their movement range. I'm not out of their movement range. Yikes. I'm gonna force row just a little bit further, get out of their movement range. There we go. Now I can try and maybe make my way around. The Romans, though, will probably come back and attack Apollonia again. That's fine. We should be able to hold it again, similar to what we did last time. Unfortunately, though, it'll just mean that I have to waste more time holding it. Sons of Rhea need to hold. Defenders of Olympus have a skill point. Their commander. Okay. OT says, use one of your family members to provoke them. It seems to work much better. Okay, I'll look at that. Wow, the Romans brought everything they had over here. This is going to be problematic. I got a feeling this is going to be problematic. But we're going to be forced to try and defend Apollonia again. I'm going to get another comment from someone who commented on the last episode. I've gotten in a lot of the live comments here. Let's go with Zlatko Lakisic. He says, Air's saltiness when he misses a click or doesn't agree with the game mechanics eclipses the saltiness of Carthage's soil after the Romans. You are correct, Zlatko, and that is an excellent comment. Thank you very much for watching and supporting. Definitely appreciation. I love the comment. Salty indeed. I'm worried that if I just garrison up, kind of like I did last time to try and hold the Romans off here, that their ballista ships can just like unload on me and kill me. I don't know, maybe the buildings will offer me some protection, but we no guarantee of that.
Pikes at the ready, Commander.
We have another unfortunate set of mob here who will be acting as my Pila barrier. Come on now, I can't see the unit markers on the ground. I'm just trying to get these guys lined up in here. Right. Some of these units right here. Hide some of these units back here. And I'm gonna use my mob as javelin bait, like right here maybe. So when the Romans come through, maybe they'll toss javelins. We'll see. I gotta get my ship ashore.
Enemy
Romans are bringing in their transport fleet. There's gonna be a lot of Romans here. A whole lot of Romans. It's possible I could soak up the artillery ammo with my slingers, but then I'd be sacrificing some slingers. Oh my gosh, the Romans may just be absolutely stupid. I think they're going to take their artillery ships and just ground them all. They are, and here comes their cavalry that was... Oh boy, yeah, no, nope. Oh gosh.
We await your orders. Quick march, my lord.
Alright, we gotta hold off their cavalry over here.
Double time.
I don't know if it's gonna come from my slingers. I'm gonna try and lure it in. Give it the business here. So like I'll leave my... Yeah, this should work. I'm gonna use the Eastern Spear in a square formation to hold the cavalry, and then I'll use my slingers to bombard the cavalry with missiles like this. I'm gonna reposition just a little. Get safe. Here comes the mercenary citizen cavalry equites. Furious Perennius. General's bodyguard. Oh yeah, we just wiped out that citizen cavalry. The Romans are going to land their artillery ships. What a bunch of idiots. I love it. This music is awesome. Like, almost sounds like Lord of the Rings music here. Right, slingers. Give it to him. That filthy Roman bodyguard. Is this the body? No, that's the equites. It's funny they had an equite unit left over because they've hit the Marian reforms. So I don't know where they had that thing sitting around in mothballs. That citizen cavalry is trying to work around me now. Let's take a bit of Hillman around. The general and bodyguard is not going to do well over here either. Yeah, he's starting to get peppered with sling fire, so Perennius is going to be at a rock concert here. He's dead. He rocked out, folks. He just rocked out until he couldn't take it anymore. That mercenary citizen cavalry is gonna... Hey, that's my charge bait, man! Lay off! It's your own charge bait.
The men are wavering.
Trying to throw some javelins over here, help finish that cavalry off. This may be a good kill trap right here for all these levies and stuff that are coming in as well, so I'm gonna keep trying this. This game needs better AI. Why the cav just YOLOs? Yeah, I mean, that's... The game does need better AI. Like, absolutely. The AI is better in the newer games, but when it comes to sieges, the AI is still pretty derpy. Okay, they're gonna waste some ammunition on my box formation there. Dang it, don't go around me. Get over here. Come on, get up here. I'm gonna go use my Hillman to try and lure these levies forward, because I want to lure them into my kill box here for the slingers. Hopefully this will use up all the ammo on the Roman ballista. Come on, get over here. Come this way. Good levies. That's a good levy. My slingers not on fire at will? They are at fire at will. Gonna open fire anytime?
Infantry at your command. Orders, my lord.
Now that we don't have any cavalry here, I'm just gonna spread this unit out a little bit. There we go. Alright, so the levies are gonna waste their ammo, and then my slingers should be able to pick at them as well. We still have the concern of Roman Pila being able to overwhelm us. But we've got some tools at our disposal here. Ooh! I don't really appreciate what that ballista's doing with me right now. Hoping we can continue to lure levy units. Hey, hey, easy! Easy! Fortunately for me, that unit is spread out a little. Take less damage, but still damage that I'd rather not be taking. But the more of these levies we can kill, the better, because their javelins are a very real threat to our pikemen. We're just gonna have to kind of wear these armies down just one piece at a time here. Yikes, we are taking more damage here than I would like. Under a pretty extreme artillery bombardment right now. Don't you rout. It's just a little flaming barbecue. Stand in there, slingers. The good news is as much as I hate it, I do believe the ammunition is limited. And if we can allow that ammunition... Whoa, hang on, what happened to my... He wasn't on guard mode. Holy crap, this is bad. Get back here. Okay, slingers, keep doing your thing. I want to kill as many of these levies as we can. These guys are a big danger because they... Sometimes the Romans' infantry will just kind of charge into combat without discharging javelins, but the levies won't do that. Like, they will definitely throw their javelins at me. Fortunately for me over here, they're using them on my mob, so that is quite good. Continuing to pick apart Roman units. They're firing at my infantry. Hopefully the ammunition will run out on these Roman ballistas soon enough. I'm pretty okay with the way this is working over here, though. We've killed a lot of Romans with my slingers, and managed to draw a lot of javelin units over here, and I think it's been pretty effective overall.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
It's gonna be one of my mob units fleeing there, but the good thing is they're drawing almost all the javelins out of this levy.
General! Quick march!
So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm gonna toss some back at this levy unit.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Full by! Slingers!
See if my slingers can
Our
point
general is
blank
under attack.
this Brutus character right here. I'm gonna try and get my own guys out of the way, yeah, so that my slingers can shred them.
Orders, my lord! Charge!
See, we want these guys to sit here and trade javelins. Oh my gosh, when did this happen? Is that the artillery? Oh man,
The enemy general is dead.
my pikemen just got shredded.
General!
That had to have been the enemy. Oh, it's the artillery. Dang it, this is exactly what I didn't want.
At the ready!
That artillery is going after my pikemen. This is bad.
Fire!
That is bad. Please don't, artillery. Please don't. Okay, they're out of ammunition. Oh, beautiful. I think we may survive this still. We'll see.
Ready and waiting!
Don't throw your javelins at my pikemen. Don't throw your javelins at my pikemen. No, 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 no. No! Bad Romans.
Take aim!
Okay, good. They didn't get any Pila off. I don't know what the Romans are doing over here. It's really rather odd.
We are at your command!
I think I'm going to bring these slingers over here and pepper these guys from the flank. I'll leave these guys over here to just draw in some enemy fire.
General! Understood!
I don't really want to get this unit killed now,
Double time!
so I think I'm going to go ahead and flee in behind here. Because if I get this guy killed, I think it'll hurt morale.
Quick march! What are your orders?
There we go. I've got a great angle now right here into the flank of these Roman troops. We should be able to help massacre them. We want to just go ahead and get as many kills as we can get with their slingers. If we absorb a Pila volley here, yep, that's also useful. Sorry, you poor hillmen, but enjoy the Pila. Air demands it of you. Oh yeah, this is great.
Slingers!
We are cutting down some leecheries over here. They've got a unit of hoplites that did not exit the transport. It's bugged out. This kind of stuff happens in Rome 2 battles. I hope it doesn't keep staying that way, because if it gets totally bugged, we would have to fast forward through all the remaining battle time, which will take like 15 or 20 minutes.
Orders, my lord!
I'm gonna have to flee back here. We've got Roman infantry bearing down on us. We did some really nice damage there. Gave ourselves an opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the fast forward. There's really not a whole lot of maneuvering that I can do at this point to help myself. Other than just keeping my slingers on the move and trying to kill more and more Romans with them. They're not doing a great job at using their Pila against me, so this bodes well. There is a levy unit over here discharging javelins into my levy pikes. I'm going to massacre it quickly. We kill them before they use their ammo, it'll save me a lot of casualties. So that is good news right there.
Double!
And then we've got another levy unit now tossing javelins at me.
At speed!
Those are a very real concern.
At speed!
At this point, though, yeah, it is a concern. We need to come kill those levies. I would have rather focused on the veteran legionaries, but those levies are causing... I'm losing men quickly in this pike unit. That is not good. And it's definitely due to their javelins. You can see them come up here and just killing one after another on my troops. So let's get rid of the Roman levy here. We can't afford to let that thing get like 40 kills, 50 kills, something like that. I've got to kill these ballista ship crew who are coming after me. Hate to really waste ammunition on them, but I don't want them to get me into melee either. Those guys should rout pretty shortly here. And the levies are now going to be out of the way. They're wavering. Alright, now let's get our slingers in position and kill as many of these veteran legionaries as we can. I think we can gain another victory here. Fortunately for me, slingers have a lot of ammunition. Alright, let's do this here. 1212 AD mod. I've had a lot of people mention it to me. I don't have a particular interest personally in playing the 1212 mod. I feel like there are plenty of historical options that I would want to play before that one, say like Ancient Empires mod. I could try and take a look at it, but yeah, it's not high on my list at the moment. Not because it's not good work or anything else like that, but it's not something that's gonna grab my attention the same way as something in the ancient time period would. But I'm sure it's good. I've heard a lot of people talk about it and really enjoy it. And the modders, the work that modders have done in the Total War community is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's see, we've got this veteran legionary. Let's start throwing some stones at him. About to get attacked by this ballista ship crew here. Go ahead and fast forward again. Alright, that wrecked that ballista ship crew. The rest of those Romans should die. I'm going to bring my slingers over here and see if we can debug that enemy ship that's kind of just stuck out there. This last Roman veteran legionary should die. It's going headlong. I don't know if that'll be enough to tilt the power bar to rout that ship, though, and that's why I'm going to run these units over there and start shooting at it, because it may debug it and get it moving, or it may allow me to just tilt their morale completely out. Fight. Yeah, those veteran legionaries are going to die. There they go. And we'll just get our slingers over here and try and work this unshielded flank of those hoplites right there. Tenderize their flank a little. Now, if there was a Medieval 3, this MDST Mouse was the one asking about the 1212 mod. He says, Crusades, Europe. Now, don't get me wrong, I may not be like super thrilled for like the 1212 mod, but I guarantee you, if they announced a Medieval 3, even though Medieval is not my favorite time period, I would be hyped. It would be a lot of fun, and I would be hyped for it. I don't know if I'm hyped enough to go out and find mods that do it, but I would certainly be hyped for a Medieval 3. Look at this, they're still holding steady. I'm not going to have enough ammo to convince them to rout. So this kind of bugs.
One of our units has used all its
so
ammunition.
Annoying. Wonder if I can get close to them. I wish I could like go into melee mode, just throw torches at their ship or something. Can't. I can't get them to rout, and it's bugged and won't come ashore, so I get stuck on fast forward now for 10 minutes, at least. A little more than 10 minutes, actually. So welcome to Rome 2, where they got rid of a lot of the bugs, but not all of them. And naval landings and engagements in general, where that's where a whole lot of bugs happen. So Q&A time. That's right. It is Q&A time for anybody who would like to participate. For anybody here who is live, Ian says CA please. I couldn't agree more. This is definitely a good CA please moment. Senshi Bat, that's right, 12 years making video. Pyrrhic Strategos asks, have you heard of the Age of Justinian mod for Total War Attila? I have not. I've heard of the Ancient Empires mod, but Age of Justinian I'm not familiar with. People in the chat generally agreeing right now that this is a big CA please. And yeah, I guess this is just part of live streaming though. B-Dog says, I hate it when this happens. We all do. And if you are an avid Rome 2 player, we have all been here. I wanted to save more ammunition, and I probably should have with my slingers, because then I probably could have avoided this. Or my javelins, if I hadn't thrown them, I could have come over here and done flaming javelins. William Farmer says, what are your thoughts on Total War Troy? I stopped playing after Attila. I'm not into the magic and dragons of the Total War series. Well, so Troy has a mythos mode where you get mythological creatures like centaurs, sirens, harpies, minotaurs, all that kind of stuff. But it's fun. It's different than Warhammer still. Like, it's not like full-on fantasy. Well, I mean, it is, I guess. But, you know, there's still a lot of regular troops in the game. Now, Troy is very different. It also has a historical mode where there's no single entity generals and stuff like that. So I think Troy is a very well-built game. It runs very good. Like right now I'm getting 70 frames per second on this tiny battle in a really old game from 2013. And I was getting 190 frames a second earlier in Total War Attila, and it looks a million times, or sorry, Total War Troy, it looks way better. I think Troy is a fun game. I think there's a lot of diversity in it if you take the time to learn it. There's a lot of new features in it that are neat. It runs well. It's a pretty interesting time period if you like ancient Greece. So I think it's good. If you're worried about it and you're not sure whether it'll be good enough for you, I would just wait till a sale and then try it. And I think that you can get a good feel for it then. So let's get to some of the other comments here. Senshi Pat says Beagle pics. I don't have any on my computer where I can show them to you right now, or else I would. Starseeker says, I thought the naval units auto-routed if there were no units on land. It would be nice if they did, but that's clearly not the case here. Feckoff D says, just like to say thank you for making those videos. My first Total War game was inspired by a love of Mongols. So take a guess which one that was. I learned how to play almost entirely from your work. Well, I'm assuming then you played Medieval 2. You're coming in with the Mongols, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't actually play a whole lot of Medieval 2 on this channel. It is a fun game, though. OT says, how did you come up with HeirofCarthage? Was it from Rome 1, or were you into the history? No, I came up with HeirofCarthage directly as kind of my own copy off of the Prince of Macedon. I got started into Total War by watching his videos, and he also made me want to make YouTube videos. I still very much enjoy being in contact with the Prince of Macedon. I've always enjoyed him. And so he was a Prince of Macedon. I liked Carthage, and I couldn't think of anything. Carthage didn't have a prince, so I just came up with HeirofCarthage. I don't know. That's the best explanation I can give you, but I was definitely ripping him off because I just wasn't very creative at the moment. B-Dog says, I have Rome 2 and Empire. Haven't played Empire yet, but tomorrow's a day off work. Well, Empire will have some bugs and glitches kind of like this with Rome. Unfortunately, CA didn't take as much time with Empire as they should have to get it all fixed before they released Napoleon. I think Empire could definitely use a remaster the same way that Medieval 2 could, and both of those games would be quite good if they could go through that process. Bishop Bling says, do you like non-strategy games? Yeah, my favorite non-strategy games, the Halo series. If we're talking FPS, Halo is really the only first-person shooter that I like to play, and I love it. I've played all the Halo games. I'm going to play Halo Infinite soon. Very much looking forward to it. As far as other non-strategy games, I love Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's probably my favorite game of all time, period, even over the top of Total War. I just got done playing Metroid Dread on the Nintendo Switch. I love the Metroid games, and Metroid is another one that's really good. So there's a few of my favorites outside of strategy. Let's see. Legamus says that those are secretly Turtitani on that ship, just trolling you for old time's sake. Now that could be true, Legamus. Regina, thanks for joining us tonight. And then thank you, Justin Hughes. Hope you're doing well too. Wicked says, I watched all your Rome 2 multiplayer videos, 3x. Man, I loved playing multiplayer in Rome 2 back in the day. It was fun. It got a little sweaty at times, just like any multiplayer in a Total War game, but it was definitely fun. I still remember playing the old Rome 1 multiplayer back in the days. Let's see, Andrew Graham says, what about Total War Bronze Age? Think Egyptian Barbaloians, except for the added. It could be fun. I don't know. I'd be open to it, especially if they did a good job with it. Any good Total War game is always welcome. DA Wins says, if we get Medieval 3, better name the Roman Empire, or at least Eastern Roman Empire. Lol. Wouldn't it be the Holy Roman Empire, though? Or the Byzantines? The Byzantines didn't call themselves Byzantines, did they? Or did they? What did the Byzantine Empire, like, what would they have called themselves? Does anybody know the answer to that? I don't know the answer to that. Let's see here. Let's get to some more of the questions. Pyrrhic Strategos tell me more about Age of Justinian. He says it takes place years after the time setting of the last Roman campaign from Attila, but I believe uses the entire campaign map as base. Sounds interesting. I'll have to check that out. B-Dog says, what software do you use to make these videos? That's a good question. I use Streamlabs OBS to record and stream with, which is a free software, and it's actually a really good software. No need to pay for any streaming software with what they've got there. And then as far as editing videos, I do pay out my nose for a license to Adobe Premiere, and I use Photoshop to make my thumbnails and stuff like that. So I use Adobe and Streamlabs to produce my content. So Bishop Bling says, what's your favorite Chaos God? Minus Slaanesh. I don't really have one, but if I had to be forced to choose one of them, I guess it's Tzeentch, just because I'm always changing my mind. Sean Hillman says, do you think it would be an Empire 2 lasting until the Napoleonic era, or would they do Napoleon 2? I think they should just put all of it into Empire 2, and they can release it as a trilogy where it starts off in, like, kind of the late Renaissance, 1600s, and then where it moves, maybe part 2 is in the 1700s, and then part 3 is in the 1800s. Could have Napoleon. I think that'd probably be the best way to handle, like, an Empire game, is just make a whole trilogy, and then each one of them introduces new sections of the world map and stuff. It'd be a lot of fun. Let's see. OT says, what if Medieval 3 has a myth mode where dragons, wizards, enchanted weapons? Nah, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be pretty sick. I'd be down with that. Now, I would certainly enjoy a historical version of Medieval 3 as well, but if that was like an expansion pack after they released the historical game, I would be down. Like, I would totally be down for that. William Farmer says they called themselves Roman. Well, that'd be cool then if they put it in the game instead of the Byzantines. I would assume they call themselves Romans. Why do we put Byzantines on stuff when they were Romans? I don't get it. I'm not sure. It was the Roman Empire, but called Byzantines to distinguish between them and the West Roman Empire. Regina says, what's up with this battle, trying to run the clock down? Regina, if you're not familiar with Rome 2, or if anybody else isn't, sometimes the ships would just get bugged, and yeah, you just have to run the timer out. I should change the timer down. Alright, there we go. We made it through. Unfortunately, wasted a bunch of time on my stream with it. In fact, I'm pretty much out of time. It was a fun stream, though. I don't feel like we got to capture near as much territory as I'd hoped we would. But we had a lot of fun with it. I got to have a good time answering some questions that were live, answering some comments that people had written on the last episode. Getting to visit with some folks tonight. Oh, look at that! Are we going to have Carthage for a next-door neighbor? I think Carthage may have just moved into Neopolis. I didn't quite catch it. I'll have to look. No, they didn't. They have an army sitting right there, but they didn't take it. Poor Carthage, because I'm going to take it. I am going to take it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun streaming tonight. I hope that you all enjoyed watching this afterwards if you weren't able to join us live. Like I said, I was trying to do my best to kind of split the difference between a live stream and also just, you know, me chatting with people here on the game. You know what, this is okay. This may make them like me more if I give them military access. Could be risky, but I think we'll be alright. Riot at the Capitol. Oh boy. Accuse in public. Publicly accuse the suspected instigators. Crush the riot. Or accuse in private. I mean, if you're rioting at the Capitol here, this is ancient Seleucid Empire. I'm sorry, but you're getting crushed, man. This isn't the modern day where we try and do things nice here. You're just getting straight up crushed. That's all there is to it. Alright, I got, so what happened here? Politics, characters. We've got this lady. A servant from the house of a rival family has been discussing their secrets in the market. She may have valuable information that we could use to discredit our rivals. Kidnapper. Send in the royal peltist. I am about to send in the royal peltist. And you know what? This is just for you. This is just for you. I know how much you love royal peltist. Poor Carthage was thinking they were going to get a new settlement here, but here comes the royal peltist marines. We don't get to actually use them because there was no garrison, but we sent in the royal peltist and we retook Neopolis. So there we go. Send in the royal peltist. Citizens don't have rights anymore, that's right. They sure don't. Not with HeirofCarthage in charge. Your rights just crumble into salt. Whatever rights you think you had, they're gone now. Heir did away with that. There goes all your fun. Alright. Release the captives there. Carthage just can't catch a break. Well, I mean, they kind of caught a break. I'm being nice to them, other than, you know, I just didn't want to give them that settlement, right? I came all this way to take Italia, right? I don't care if Carthage holds some stuff over in Iberia, but I can't have them coming in here and barging in and trying to take stuff in Italia. I worked too hard for that. We worked way too hard for that. Can't be letting that happen. All right, Hannibal can get on the move again. I'm going to let Antiochus retake Brundisium down here. See, Carthage is friends with the Arverni. That's going to be a bit of a problem. I kind of need to buy off Carthage. What? Carthage is friends with the Arverni? And these guys are attacking Carthago Nova? Carthage. This is why you don't be friends with barbarians, okay? When are you going to learn? Look what they're doing to Carthago Nova. You're next, right? What they do to New Carthage, they'll do to you. I really don't want Carthage to turn against us. It's going to make me so sad.
And be blessed by Tanit.
I do want to be blessed by Tanit. We remember those good old days. I need you to break your alliance. Okay? I need you to break your military alliance with the Arverni. What am I going to have to pay you to make this happen, okay? How does Carthage like a lot of money? Come on now. Do I have anything else I can offer them? To like make them want to do this? I can't join any of their wars because I'm already in their wars. Come on, you don't need the Gauls. I'm right here. Hannibal is here. Hug me. Love me. Anyway, I've got to get running, folks. Do appreciate everybody who was able to join the stream tonight. like I said, thank you for everybody who is watching afterwards. I will be doing some more in the near future. Keep an eye out for it. Heir of Carthage signing out for now. Thanks for joining me tonight in the Seleucid Campaign. I will see you next time.